are back. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Yeah, not much I can say about that, but we're back. Life does life things, so we let life do life, but we're back. We're back. And I'm gonna do some, thinking of what this channel is gonna look like. As I kind of, go through life, and do my life things. But in the midst of deciding what I want to do, I wanted to put out a video to do some NFL playoff predictions. Because, it's been a crazy NFL season. And if you haven't noticed, I have not been able to talk about it now. Now, if you've been following my TikTok, which may or may not exist in the next few days, you've seen that I've done my playoff predictions. I've done some commentary. I've done some stuff. So I haven't been, totally gone. Right? But, I haven't done it on YouTube. And I've missed it. I genuinely have missed the creative process of making YouTube videos. Which is why I kind of wanted to come on tonight. And even tonight I was like, do I want to make a video or do I just want to go to bed? Because I'm starting my last semester of college tomorrow. All that. But I'm like, you know what? No. We're not putting this off anymore. We're doing this tonight. So here we're doing it tonight. Alright? So, yeah. Let's jump right into it, right? It's been a minute, but let's jump right into it. Like we never left. So these playoffs, right? I think it's going to be one of the more entertaining playoffs we've seen just because of what the landscape is. I want to go on a quick tangent on the playoff format a little bit more into detail because the whole discussion of maybe the playoffs should be like what the NBA does with just the top seeds get in regardless of division because we have Washington playing Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay's hosting a wildcard game when Washington has a better record, or LA's hosting a game when Minnesota's 14-3, right? But and I hear the arguments. It's like, man, we did all this work. I'm like, but you didn't win your division. And my thing with that is having divisions matter makes rivalries live longer. If you look at NBA rivalries, they don't exist, right? They don't really exist. The NBA made a whole week called Rivalry Week to try to push rivalries again because they were dead. I'm a Sixers fan. We hate playing the Celtics, but everyone hates playing the Celtics. They're good. And they're Boston. It's like everyone hates them, right? There hasn't been that back and forth rivalry. We've seen rivalries between players, and that's cool, but it's not sustainable, right? Especially with all this player movement. But what divisions do is rivalries matter, man. I mean, again, I'm a Philly fan. Dallas week is a national holiday, all right? Playing the Giants week, it means something. It means different. It means something different than playing the Saints, who are another struggling team. But playing the Giants means a little bit more because they're in our division, right? And if you take the divisions away or give them less meaning, then the rivalries start to diminish a little bit, right? There's a little less fueling it, right? So I just think that's such an important part of sports, and if you take that away, it's a little lame. It's a little lame. And I like the chaos about it. Did you I know the game overall was disappointing, but the hype up to the Vikings and the Lions, winner gets the 1 seed, loser drops to the 5 seed. I mean, those stakes are insane. Insane. That's the most high stakes regular season game I've ever seen in my life, and I've been watching football for a long time. Right? In my 22 years, I've been watching football a long time, a large percentage of those years. And I've never seen anything like that. So I was excited for this game, which made me even more disappointed that Minnesota really didn't show up and Sam Darnold looked so bad. Right? But these things matter, is what I'm trying to say. So I really think that this is good for football. I know it might seem a little unfair, but I think it's good for football, It's frustrating, but I think it's good, All right. I digress. Let's get into the playoffs, all right? Shall we? Okay, let's start with the AFC. Because I think the AFC's a little more straightforward, right? Um, I'm gonna mostly focus on my wild card picks, but then I'll kind of say who I think's what's gonna happen down the line. But I really want to focus on the wild card, right? The wild card matchups. So first, let's go Houston versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Houston Texans, Los Angeles Chargers. Houston's got the 4. They won their division. Los Angeles Chargers got the 5. Um, I it's Houston's not what we thought Houston was going to be when we saw last season. We're like, oh man, they're gonna take that leap. This is gonna be a scary team, one of the best teams in the AFC, gonna battle with the Chiefs, and they've just looked flat. And CJ Stroud has looked rough, and I think one thing I've noticed, and this is another theory of mine, and I might just be yapping here, so don't read too much into what I'm saying if you don't want to. But when Tank Dell got hurt in that Chiefs game, they were like really competing with the Chiefs there, and that could have tied the game if they missed. But then they missed the extra point, which I also think the kicker wasn't focused because they just saw a horrible injury. But C.J. Stroud was distraught, man. After the injury to Tank, he was distraught. You couldn't pull him from the ambulance, right? And the rest of that game, it was over from there. And he was missing all these throws and just not he didn't seem there. And the next week was the same thing against the Ravens. Just he couldn't get anything going. So I'm really concerned about him mentally right now, where his headspace is at, because I don't know if it's all on football right now, which is understandable. But when we're talking about football, it's not. We're not seeing good production. I know it's been rough all year, but it especially seemed different once that happened. The Chargers have had a resurgence of a year, last year being so rough, but Harbaugh coming in and kind of breathing some life into it. And Herbert's going to be as good as Herbert is always. And now you give him Ladd McConkey, which was a great rookie addition. Give him that explosive play, give him that reliable receiver that he was lacking. And then with Keenan Allen leaving and all that. Also, I think Keenan Allen's coming back, which will be fun. But I kind of think that's happening. And the defense has been really solid with, like, they don't have the biggest names, but they play really well. And I think they're overall just a solid team. I think it's going to be a close game. Houston's got a really good front with Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. You know, just those guys up front disrupting, coming off the edge. And they got the best pass rushing duo in the league. So that's going to give Herbert some problems. But I think I see the Chargers coming out of this one just because I trust the quarterback right now a lot more. I do trust Justin Herbert to win this game. I hope to see a bounce back from C.J. Stroud in the playoffs. I would love that. But it's hard when you're coming off. I'm an Eagles fan. I know very well about this. It's hard to come off waning energy in the end of the regular season to try to come out strong into the playoffs. It's rough. You got to carry the energy in. So give me the Chargers this one, but I'm hoping to see a better C.J. Stroud. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Pittsburgh has been pretty disappointing, huh? I mean, they had 10-something wins and they lose their last 4 games. And it's like the offense is, we're going to run the ball or we're going to throw a moon ball, go route to George Pickens and have him grab it out of the air. Russell Wilson can't throw down the middle at all, like not even a little bit. And that's been his entire career, right? He's never been throw it down the middle of the field kind of guy. He's always used the sidelines. But it's just like there's just very little production, especially when Pickens is either hurt or doesn't have the production he usually has. Because once you take that out, you're kind of stuck, and you don't have the explosiveness in your offense anymore. And the defense, it's good, but it's not like that elite level where it doesn't matter if the offense struggles sometimes. It's like you need offensive production, and they have to win ugly to win, and the offensive production isn't matching the ugliness of the defense that's making the game ugly. So it's just, as much as Baltimore has disappeared in the playoffs, as much as they haven't looked the strongest this year, I think the last few weeks they've looked really good, and I can't see Lamar and the Ravens losing this one, especially with Derrick Henry. You can just rely on that run game, even if it's not going that well. Give me the Ravens on this one. Steelers got to figure something out. They've been riding this mediocrity wave, and I'm not in the fire Tomlin camp, but I also understand Steelers fans are getting a little annoyed because I'd be annoyed if my team makes it to the first round every year and then that's all we do. Like that's frustrating, right? So I think you got to find a way to, you got to go out of your way to get a quarterback that's going to like produce and really have the offense working on all cylinders, not a few things. Russ has been great for what he does, but at this stage of Russ's career, it's just not going to be enough to make you a serious contender, you know? All respect to Russ, but it's just, you know, that's just where his career is at this moment. He's not the great improviser he was in Seattle, where he could extend plays for a long period of time, make something happen out of nothing, and always have the offense running, and really put on his back. He can't really do that anymore, and that's just what happens. So yeah, give me Baltimore this one. Next, we got Denver and Buffalo. This is gonna be a really good game, I think. You know, I've been like skeptical of Bo Nix, and I'm still a little skeptical, but he's just fun, man. He's a good quarterback. Hasn't been asked to do too much, but he's making these crazy, insane throws. Like the one, was it the Bengals game where he throws off his back foot to like the corner of the end zone, a perfectly placed ball to Mims, and it's like he has those insane throws that no one else can make, right? So he's just fun, and the defense has been so good. Shout out Nick Bonito for coming out this year out of nowhere and becoming one of the best defenders in the league, and Pat Surtain doing Pat Surtain things, just being that lockdown corner he is, just unbelievable. A good job. I'm not the biggest Sean Payton fan because of how he handled last season. I think that was very unprofessional and not what a coach should do. But you got to give credit where credit is due. What he's done with this team, what he's done with Bo Nix, giving him the tools to succeed. Even though some of the last games, some of the management of the game has been very questionable. Getting them to where they are has been so impressive. It's gonna be close, but again, Josh Allen's been playing like, if it's not Lamar Jackson, it's Josh Allen who's been playing the best football in the world right now. I don't know who I have for MVP. If you give it to either one, I wouldn't be mad either, Lamar or Josh. Josh has been playing out of his mind. He's been so fun to watch. Like he's one of the players that I have the most fun watching. Just him, just do his thing and cook. It's unbelievable. He's like a video game character. What he does, it's like it's not human stuff. These throws he makes, these plays he makes, these runs, it's absurd and it's so fun. It's good football, man. Whenever Josh Allen's on the field, you're getting a good football game. The defense is suspect. It absolutely is suspect, but I don't know if Denver is going to be the team that's going to like take advantage of that fully to surpass Josh Allen. So I'm probably going to take Buffalo, but I think it's going to be a good game because I think Denver can really score some points. I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm not betting against Josh Allen in the first round. I'm just not doing that. As far as the rest of the AFC goes, it's going to be, based off my prediction, it's going to be Kansas City versus Houston. No, versus the Chargers. And I got Kansas City going to the AFC Championship game. And then it'll be Buffalo, Baltimore. That'll be fantastic. That'll be a great game. I'm going to have to find a way to like live stream, do react, because that game's going to be sick. If that becomes a matchup. I think it's Buffalo's year to really make some noise. I think I would have Buffalo over Baltimore in a close one. Although with Buffalo's defense, I might give it to Baltimore because Baltimore whooped on Buffalo earlier. So I don't know. And then it'll be Kansas City versus Baltimore, Buffalo. I don't even want to, I'm not even gonna make a prediction yet. I'm just gonna let it play out and observe. I think that's better. I think it's better just let me observe that and just it'll give me motivation to make a video later, right? All right. Let's go to the NFCs, shall we? Let's go to the NFC. Let's start with Minnesota and the Rams, the 5 and the 4. Again, Rams getting home field advantage, which it's going to be all purple because we know how SoFi Stadium works. This is a tough one. Sam Darnold has looked so bad. Like, that last game, he looked really bad. But then there's been stretches where he looks really good, but the accuracy is a problem. If he made those throws, those wide open opportunities he had throughout the game, they would have won that game. Like, there were so many opportunities blown. It was hard to watch. The Rams, Matt Stafford, man, give him the opportunity. He might surprise you. You got Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua. You can't really doubt that offense. Kyron Williams, a touchdown machine. What Puka Nacua has been able to do with these like insane catches, just like he tore up the Eagles defense the way a wide receiver hasn't torn us up all year. Cooper Kupp, the slot king. I mean, whenever you have those two, it's always going to be a threat. I don't know. I also love Brian Flores' defense and the way he's got these guys playing. Because, again, they don't have these heavy-hitting names. But they're ballers. This is so tough. This is actually like a really good game, I think it's going to be. Let me give it to the better team. Let me give respect to the better team. Give me Minnesota, but I'm not confident about this. All right, give me Minnesota, but I think LA could make some noise. We'll see. Washington, Tampa Bay. I was about to go on a rant about Commanders fans, but I don't feel like doing that. I've used enough energy. Oh, I'm going to choose peace. If you want to see me rant about the Commanders fans, just let me know, and I can give you a rant about Commanders fans. Washington, Tampa Bay. Baker has had a really good year, but he's had those games where it's like, ugh, you go back to like, ugh, I don't know, like almost losing to the Saints and losing the playoff spot. It's like, ugh, I don't know, like the way him and Mike Evans has made this offense, and Bucky Irving, like, really potent, has been great. Defense is all right. Washington is a high-powered offense. Defense is all right. It's, like, similar things. I feel like I like the energy Washington is coming off of. And I think Jane Daniels, I think he's a big moment guy. I think we can probably say they're pretty safe. So I think they make it through. Tampa Bay. But again, I'm not like so convinced as I was on the AFC side. I'm like, the NFC Wildcard weekend is gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be good. Give me Washington though. I like Jay Daniels taking this over, and I think the defense can play good enough. Philly and Green Bay. The media's been trying to scare us with the whole Jalen Hurts still under concussion protocol, but what I've read is that you can't be taken off concussion protocol until you've practiced. And of course, they weren't going to practice him for Giants week, and the first time we're going to practice is Wednesday, so he's not going to be practicing till Wednesday. So then he can be taken off. That's why he hasn't been taken off yet. So I'm not concerned. They just waived Ian Book today, which makes it feel like they're feeling fine about the quarterback position. So I think Hurts will be good. Defense humming. Saquon 2K has rest, which is a big deal. Offensive line has rest, big deal. It's so important that we rested those guys because having the 1 seed bye week is important, so we need to make our own bye week, right? The Lions had to play week 18, right? We didn't. So we have a bye week just earlier, and that's important. That's really important. We get Goddard back. Everyone's healthy. There's no excuse to lose to Green Bay. Christian Watson down with an ACL. Jordan Love is banged up, but he'll be good to go. But Green Bay's been so shaky. They haven't been able to beat good teams. Their defense has been pretty good. Their front seven's pretty good. Secondary's been a little washy. We gave them problems when we played them in Brazil. That was a long time ago, but, so I think Green Bay is a really good team. I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think Philly's just going to be superior and be the better team here. So give me Philly. And then it's going to be Philly, Minnesota, Washington, Detroit. I think we can beat Minnesota. I'm not scared. I think we can shut down that offense pretty darn good. And then go to the NFC Championship game against Detroit or the Commanders and give me Detroit. They're a better team. Washington, good story. They got their quarterback, but it's the Lions. And then Eagles, Lions. I like our matchup against them, especially because their defense. They've been playing well, but I think we have the players that can expose them on the one-on-one with Devontae, with AJ. I think we can really expose them in a way that they haven't had to be challenged like that before. Like, they just played Addison and Justin Jefferson, but it's like Sam Darnold wasn't hitting the throws. Say what you want about Jalen Hurts. He hits the throws he needs to hit. All right? Say what you want. He's efficient. He's not gonna miss throws like that. All right? He's way more accurate than that. So I'd probably take Philly, but it could go either way. And then it'd probably be Kansas City or whatever in the Super Bowl. But all right, I'm rambling now. Let me know what you think. It's good to see y'all again. I know I can't see y'all, but it's good. I don't know. You might not want to see me again. Who knows? But hopefully I'll start making more videos. I'll let you know what I'm doing with this channel, what my future plans are. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. Follow that TikTok while it's still alive. Follow that BlueSky account, trying to go on there more because, we don't mess with Mr. Who's on that other site. But yeah, I'm still on there a little because I built a community over there. I know people. Like, it's hard to just leave people behind. If it's just about the app, I have no problem doing that. But you take a while to build those communities, and then it's hard to just go boop and leave and build something else. But yeah, so follow me on all that, and yeah, peace out. Go Birds.